This is ANN News Brief.
Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed was asked in Pretoria on Tuesday his reaction to U.S. President Donald Trump's comment that he should have received the Nobel Peace Prize given to Ahmed. Abiy received the Nobel Peace Prize last month for his effort to end nearly 2 decades of hostility between Eritrea and his country. The issues were related to border disputes between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Abiy said he is not familiar with the criteria for selection of individuals for the prize. He advised President Trump could take his issue to the Nobel Prize Committee. The committee said Trump was confused. The committee said, quoted, if they gave the Nobel for deals that didn't happen, the president would have a shelf full of them, end quote. Authorities in Ivory Coast say they have rescued 137 children who were victims of traffickers. They said these children had been groomed to work on cocoa plantations or in prostitution. Police rescued the children after surrounding the eastern town of Abiso and carrying out a 2-day search of cars, farms, and nearby villages. Officials say the children ranged from 6 to 17 years old and were brought into Ivory Coast from Benin, Ghana, Niger, Nigeria, and Togo. The victims are in care of a charity in Aboso, while authorities search for their parents. Senior police officials say they plan to increase operations aimed at stopping child trafficking. We'll be right back.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network. ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
Malawi's anti-corruption body said it has probed alleged bribery in a case linked to a controversial election which handed President Peter Mutharika a second term. The opposition Malawi Congress Party, MCP, and the United Transformation Movement, UTM, have said the poll in May last year was marred by fraud. Mutharika narrowly won, beating MCP candidate Lazarus Shaweka. Opposition leaders say the result sheets were tampered with and petitioned the country's top court in August to annul the results. Presidential election results have never been challenged in court since Malawi's independence from Britain in 1964. Malawi's Anti-Corruption Bureau said on Monday it had received a complaint from Chief Justice Andrew Yirenda, alleging bribes had been offered to the 5 judges presiding over the case. A ruling is expected by the end of January. Meanwhile, sporadic demonstrations have since broken out across the southern African country, with protesters demanding the ouster of the Electoral Commission's head over her handling of the vote. That is ANN News Brief at 11. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I am Lucy Ademi.